It took a little longer than we expected, but we got our mudroom space finished just in time for mud season in Ohio. Hey guys, it's Aaliyah with Open Doors, Open Hearts blog, and today I'm excited to show you our mudroom organization. The first thing that we did was give this space a fresh coat of paint. And I'll be honest, this was not the first color, and I'm still not sure that this is the color that I want to stay with. But after repainting it and then wanting to repaint it again, we just ultimately decided to live with it and see if it grows on us as we live with it. While I was painting it, my husband was working on building the bench. I absolutely love having a bench in this space. That is one of the design decisions that I love and will not change. One, because I can sit down to put my shoes on or take my shoes off, and that is really nice. And two, I like it because it makes it easier for the girls to hang up their coats when they come in. This leads to my second mudroom organization design is put a shelf in it. So we just put one shelf at the top, and that has been a really good place for us to put a basket of our winter gear, like our hats and our gloves. I'm trying to get another basket that I can put all of the girls' stuff in for going and playing outside also. That being said, I have to be honest, I am having a hard internal conflict. It has been a long, cold winter here in Ohio, so I am kind of done with the winter stuff. Like, I'm so ready to just put it away. So I think that's also kind of why I'm dragging my feet about getting the girls' winter gear in this closet. The other thing that I have stored on the shelf right now are all of the books that I have on gardening. Again, I have spring on my brain, and so I thought instead of having all of those garden books stored up in the loft space where I have all of my decorations, that it would make sense for them to be stored in a location that was easy to access, especially during garden season. The third thing we did to add organization to this mudroom space, and that was adding a peg rail. So we did a peg rail in the kitchen, and that was just right under the shelf. But for the mudroom, because the girls are so little, I wanted a peg rail lower. So the bench is part of that. It's so that the girls can stand on the bench to hang up their coats. But then I decided to put a second peg rail below the shelf in peg rail. I'm not sure that I love it for the way it looks. This kind of goes with the paint situation, but I do love the functionality. Again, I'm not finding coats on the floor, and that creates a lot of peace for me. So I'm trying to decide, like, maybe if I painted the peg rail instead of staining the peg rail, it would more blend and wouldn't stand out so much. And so maybe then I would like the peg rail a little better. A compromise that my husband and I have made with this space because he loves it just the way it is. So the compromise for us is for Aaliyah to live with it, and then if Aaliyah can't stand it, then Justin will be fine for Aaliyah to change it. Another thing that we added to this mudroom space for storage were hooks. The whole back wall has pegs on it, which gives us a bunch of storage for hanging things. But then I also wanted, just the design of having the mix of pegs and hooks. I like that look. But then also, because this mudroom is so deep, there's kind of wasted space at the front of the closet area if I don't use it with hooks. So originally I had planned on buying these hooks, but the cheapest ones that I could find were $15 a hook. So I was like, no, I'll just jump on Amazon and get whatever. I'll get whatever kind of hook we can get for way cheaper than $15. And then I went up into the loft space where I keep all of my decoration stuff stored, and I realized that we had a box that my husband's grandma had given us full of hooks and latches. And in that box, I found 3 hooks that were a style that I really did like. As always, baskets are a great way to keep a space organized. Currently, I have all of my garden baskets like ready to go in the mudroom. I was just so excited when the mudroom was ready, and I'm so excited for spring. So I pulled all of my garden baskets down from upstairs in the loft space and put them down here in the mudroom. Ultimately, this is not where I want them to live forever, but this is where I want them to live for the summer when we are actively needing baskets. The other basket that we added to the mudroom is full of what we call Millie rags. These are just rags that I have designated for when I go milk Millie. All of her rags are now stored in this basket in the mudroom. I used to have them stored in the cabinet on the other side of this mudroom, which was a fine storage spot. but the girls could never put Millie rags back in the bag in that cabinet without a rag or two falling out. And the bag that I was using was really just too small for the number of rags that we have for Millie. But this is just a much better way to do it. It's pretty, and it's a lot easier for the girls when I'm asking them to help me with laundry. They can just grab the basket, pull it down, throw all the rags in there, and hang it right back up, and we don't have rags falling on the floor having to get re-washed again. Shoe storage is something that really bothers me. I just feel like shoes are so hard, and maybe it's because we have 3 little girls and it's just generally chaos with shoes with 3 little girls. But I was trying again to find a shoe storage solution, and what I found is with the style that I like, the more English country, cottage style, it's more laid back, and a lot of those style homes really do just have shoe storage on the floor like regular. I wanted to add a personal touch to the mudroom because it's something that we see multiple times a day. Since my mother-in-law passed away in the fall, we have been going through a bunch of the stuff up at Grandma and Pap's house, and in the process we have been given some of Grandma's original artwork. Grandma loved to paint. It's something that she did when she was young. Like, we have artwork that actually has been signed by her when she still had her maiden name before she married Pap. And this is probably the most important thing that I have learned through this mudroom project. My husband knows that I have been agonizing over that middle peg rail and over the paint color. And so one day he's getting ready to walk out the door to go to work. He goes, "Man, I love sitting on this bench, putting my shoes on and looking at this painting that Grandma made. It makes getting ready to leave for work every morning so much better." And then he just gave me a hug and a kiss and left. And it made me think, I feel like all I ever talk about for home decor and like home design is functionality and efficiency. And what a boring home. Like, what a boring home if all you ever worry about is functionality and efficiency. So the big realization that I have made is that personal touches are equally important to our homes functioning for us. And so I have these like personal touch things that I add throughout my house. I just don't feel like I emphasize it with you guys enough. I feel like I'm always talking about efficiency and functionality and how boring that must be for you guys. There's a balance. Our homes and the personal touches we put inside of our homes are what make them a home and not just a house. So that's the realization that I made, and I still don't know what I'm going to do with this mudroom. I do know. We're going to live with it. We're going to live with this mudroom the way that it is. And someday you guys may see a post that's like, "We redid the mudroom again." And maybe you'll never see that post because maybe I will just fall in love with it as I live with it and as it serves me and my family. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you really enjoyed it and that it inspired you. If you're new to my channel, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button down below, and I'll see you next time.